All right, nothing like some technical difficulties right before tip-off, but we are live here in Holcamp Gym as Washington and Lee takes on Virginia Wesleyan here in the ODAC quarterfinals, and an immediate trip to the free throw line for Aaron Hughes, and there is point number 989 of her Generals career. And 990 right behind it. So the third-seeded Generals, the sixth-seeded Marlins, and underway here. The fifth postseason meeting between the two schools, the first since way back in 2012. Washington and Lee has won 4 straight against Virginia Wesleyan overall. Good look inside for Cesaria Jones. And both teams score on their opening possession here tonight. Jordan Deal on the attack for this Generals team. If we have a moment, we'll take a look at the starting lineups, but it's the same starting 5 from the entirety of the regular season for the Generals. The two seniors, Lynn Johnson and Aaron Hughes, as you see the post up and the bucket there for Adasia Williams. So Lynn Johnson, Aaron Hughes, Jordan Deal, Megan Horn, Kate Groninger. And we've already seen buckets for the top 2 scorers for the Marlins. The first year's Adasia Williams and Cesaria Jones, as Megan Horn knocks down the corner 3. Both teams looking fluid offensively early on. So Williams, Jones, Bianca Atkinson, Jessica Jennings, and Danielle Lehner. 2 seniors and 3 juniors for Washington and Lee. 1 senior, 2 sophomores, 2 rookies for Virginia Wesleyan. Neither team's gotten a stop so far, and that's still true. Count the bucket there for Adasia Williams, and a free throw on the way as well. 3-point play chance. Williams, the native of Mooresville, North Carolina, coming in shooting 57% in the conference. How efficient is that for a first-year player? Knocks down the free throw as well. 7-7 in the early going. Inside for Hughes. Short baseline jumper, no. But an offensive rebound for Jordan Deal, who does that so well. And she is fouled. So that'll give the Generals an extra look on this possession. And the shot clock at 20. The inbounds pass deflected. Should stay at this end. It does. And the ball dropped into Megan Horn. These teams did not meet in the regular season. As Aaron Hughes makes the cut to the rim. Good pass from Jordan Deal. And both teams are batting 1,000 in the early going. Took an offensive rebound and a foul to extend that possession for Washington and Lee. And finally, a miss and a stop as the 3-ball rims out for Jones. Jordan Deal, reverse layup in traffic, no. But Megan Horn grabs it. Inside for Hughes, getting a lot of looks early. And that one will not fall. 9-7. 2-point advantage for Washington and Lee as the 3 is up. No good for Jones. Rebounded by Deal. Generals looking for their third ODAC semifinal appearance in 4 seasons. They were the number 2 seed last year after sharing the regular season title with Emory and Henry. But upset by Guilford in the quarterfinal round down in Salem. Virginia Wesleyan, which won the ODAC title under Stephanie Dunmeyer in 2015, has only been to the semifinals once since then. That was in 2018. Last year, lost in the first round to Guilford. So the Quakers knocked both of these teams out of the tournament last year. That shot no good for Bianca Atkinson. What a hustle play, though. Atkinson, who went down hard, but broke up the transition Already seen some subs for both teams. Sabrina Jones, one of the seniors for the Marlins, coming along with Celeste Rucker, who had a good game against Ferrum last weekend. And now Erin Addison and Lauren Fowler are on the floor for Washington and Lee. This is Horn on the attack. Marlins late on the slide there trying to help. Megan Horn with 5 early points. And it's a 4-point lead for Washington and Lee. Jennings and Jones, little 2-player game. Jones the post up. Well defended by Lauren Fowler. Addison runs the floor. Sets up the look for Groninger. 3 ball is off target. Generals did not shoot the ball well at all, inside or outside against Lynchburg last Saturday. 29% from 3 and only 31% from the floor overall. But on the season, better than 40%. Turnovers have been a problem for the Marlins, especially in the games they've lost this year. And the Generals convert. Fast break finish for Lauren Fowler off the feed for Megan Horn. Generals have opened up a 6-point lead, 5:34 to play in the opening period. Marlins scored on their first 3 possessions, and that bucket for Adasia Williams breaks a drought of a couple of minutes, and Williams has 7 of the Marlins' 9. Addison on the attack, counted and 1. Sabrina Jones well inside that restricted area, so it's a 3-point play opportunity for Erin Addison, who had one of the best games of her career in this round of the tournament 2 seasons ago. Her rookie campaign against Lynchburg, scored 20 against the Hornets in the Generals' victory, and that still stands as her career high. Got the foul shot as well, 16-9. WNL in front. Rucker, post up, no good. Anadorta on the floor now for the Generals with that rebound. Horn at the other end. Pull up baseline jumper, good. And Washington and Lee on an extended 11-2 run, and Liz Hootie can't wait for the stoppage in the media timeout. Needs to spend an early one here. Good start for the Generals, up 9 with 4:48 left in the first period of this ODAC quarterfinal matchup. They've made all 3 of their free throws as well. 9th season for Coach Clancy, 117 victories. 6 away from tying, 7 away from setting a new program record in that department. Her counterpart, Liz Hootie, in her second year with the Marlins after a great run at Averett. And she was an All-American for Mary Washington. Went well. 9th season for Coach Clancy, 100. Early 9-point advantage for Washington and Lee. We'd like to wish a very happy birthday to Generals head coach Christine Clancy, hoping to celebrate with a victory and has to be pleased with the start her team has gotten off to. In this game, the Generals 7 of 11 from the field. They've made all 3 of their free throws as well. 9th season for Coach Clancy, 117 victories. 6 away from tying, 7 away from setting a new program record in that department. Her counterpart, Liz Hootie, in her second year with the Marlins after a great run at Averett. And she was an All-American for Mary Washington. Went to the Final Four as a player with the Eagles. Once blocked 12 shots in a game against Washington and Lee. Over 500 in her career. Celeste Rucker knocks down a pair of free throws. And the Marlins get points coming out of the timeout. They left Erin Addison wide open, and she will drain the left corner jumper. 20 points in under 6 minutes for the Generals so far today. Long jumper will not go. That was Logan Carter for the Marlins. Addison with the explosive feed, just a little too much on the shot attempt. Atkinson out front for Virginia Wesleyan. Sierra Coleman is in and has her shot blocked there by Lauren Fowler. Hanna Malik, sharpshooting first year for Washington and Lee, has checked in, and she's fouled there by Carter. That was the 4th team foul, so last to give for Virginia Wesleyan. Deja Williams and Jessica Jennings back in for the Marlins. Trying to set up Aaron Hughes, who leans into that but can't get it to fall. Hughes has 4 points already for Washington and Lee. 8 away from 1,000. Good take in transition there for Jessica Jennings for her first 2. Addison, bullet pass to Hughes, who has to save it. It leads to a good look for Malik, and she cans the 3. Hughes kept the ball alive, and Hanna Malik shooting 54% in the first 6 games of her college career. 54% from beyond the arc. And now the Generals have a takeaway. Stripped it from Coleman. Addison in transition. Double-digit lead. 12-point lead to be exact now. Aaron Addison has 7. The Generals have 25 on the scoreboard in just over 7 minutes. And the Marlins turn it over again. They average over 25 of those per game. Addison gets an open look in transition, but left the layup short. Marlins have done a much better job of taking care of the basketball in their 4-game winning streak, 19 a game. They had 3 games earlier in the season where they gave it away more than 30 times, but when they don't turn it over, they tend to get good looks on the offensive end, and the 3 ball goes down for Celeste Rucker. 25-16. On the drive is Hughes. This time it goes down. And we'll see just a handful of spectators. We've been playing these games with no fans in attendance. But wonderful to see the parents of the 2 General seniors, Aaron Hughes and Lynn Johnson, able to join us here this afternoon. How about Lauren Fowler on the defensive end? She's made several big plays already. Got the tie up there on Coleman. It will stay with the Marlins on the alternating possession. Got a line change here for the Generals. Malik stays out there, but 4 new players. Megan Horn, Jordan Deal return. Grace O'Connor's out there, and great to see Catherine Vandiver, the sophomore post, back after she missed the last 2 regular season games. Cesaria Jones, everything but the finish that time. And then a hustle play, but maybe a rookie mistake that time to commit the foul, trying to win it back. It's her 2nd personal. It's also the 5th team foul. And free throws coming at the other end for Washington and Lee with 1:48 left in the period. Malik is 6 of 7 at the foul line so far in her young career. Already has 1 3 to her name. Only 1 3-pointer in each of the last 2 contests against 2 of the top defensive sides in the league. A little bit of a heat check after she was 12 of 19, 63% through the first 4 games. That's a long 3 for Rucker. It's no good. And Megan Horn runs the floor with the Generals up by 13. Someone needs to stop the basketball. And Horn ends up throwing it away. Might have been better served taking that all the way to the rim. Megan Horn, such an unselfish player and such a fantastic passer with all the assists. We saw her sense something in the second half against Shenandoah in the last home game, that nothing else was really working for the Generals offense. They needed her to score, and boy, did she ever. Jennings got Horn up in there, a really good shot fake, but can't finish. And Jennings hustles down that basketball and then is fouled by Malik. Determination there extends the possession for the Marlins. Jessica Jennings, kind of a do-everything player for Virginia Wesleyan, especially last year. Marlins needed a lot more point production from her. They've got some other options who can score the ball now. Certainly see why Liz Hootie wants her on the floor. Little turnaround, Jay, there for Adasia Williams, who's had a great first quarter. She's got 9 points. Still an 11-point Generals advantage, 43 seconds to go. Long three for Malik, good. Get the impression that her shooting range is anywhere inside the building. And if you give her space, even 5 feet beyond the arc, she might make you pay. Good look for Danielle Lehner, and the Virginia Wesleyan senior gets her first 2. Doesn't score a lot, but she has a 21 rebound game on her resume this year. Defending, Catherine Vandiver, who leans around, kept that pivot foot down, but the shot won't go. Deal's follow no good. Deal gets it again, and the Generals reset. 6 seconds left. Malik gives it up to Horn. Megan Horn, the little running layup is good with just a second to go. And that'll cap off a 34-point first quarter for Washington and Lee. The Generals hit 12 of their 21 attempts from the field. They've got a 14-point lead here in the ODAC quarterfinals. Between the number 3 seed Washington and Lee, the number 6 seed Virginia Wesleyan, the Generals up by 14. I said before the break, 12 of 21 from the field for Washington and Lee in the opening period. That number did not include that layup right before the buzzer by Megan Horn, so 13 out of 22 for the Generals in the opening 10 minutes. 9 from Horn, who was 4 of 4, 8 from Malik, 7 from Addison, 6 from Hughes. The Marlins turned it over a few times, but otherwise they were pretty good on offense. 20 points in a period you'll take almost every time. And could not slow down the Generals, who almost forced a turnover after the missed jumper by Hughes. Virginia Wesleyan got 9 points from Adasia Williams, 5 from Rucker. There's Jennings for 3. That rims out. 1 and done for the Marlins. Transition, what a look by Horn. It leads to a layup for Jordan Deal. Second basket for Deal. And the second assist for Megan Horn. Skip pass, Rucker to Atkinson, who's ready to shoot. Virginia Wesleyan just 1 of 8 from three-point range so far. Horn runs the floor. It's just coming too easy right now on the offensive end. Getting a lot of open looks. That time a foul prevents the layup, but Horn will shoot 2. Horn again, that 22-point effort against Shenandoah, tying the career high that she set and matched on an additional occasion during her rookie season. She's already moved up into 6th place all time in assist. 1 of 2 at the foul line, but she's in double figures in the points column 11 minutes into the game, and the Generals lead it by 17. Jennings needs some help. Now drops it off out front to Atkinson. Shot clock at 7 for the Marlins. Jones, that's a tough one, but a big basket there for Virginia Wesleyan. Sabrina Jones, coming off the double-double against Ferrum, gets her first points of the game. Post up for Hughes, and she's up to 8 points, inching closer and closer to a big milestone. 996 now in her Washington and Lee career. Rucker on the cut, turnaround over Johnson, no, and it's Lynn Johnson who grabs that rebound. $16-point Generals lead, 8 minutes to play first half. Groninger on the cut, and another fine feed from Megan Horn. Kate Groninger gets her first 2 today. Generals offense just looking so smooth right now. So is Sabrina Jones. 5 straight points for the Marlins. Well, they need to tighten things up on the defensive end, see if they can get some stops, get back in this game. Another post up for Hughes, too strong that time. And the Marlins in possession. Rucker fires out to Jennings. She'll attack. Got by a couple of defenders, but could not finish at the rim. Transition for Groninger, not there. But she does set up a good look for Johnson. That won't go. Horn the offensive rebound. Stick back, no. It's going to stay at this end. Haven't seen a lot of misses for the Generals. Still shooting about 55% from the field. But they already have 6 offensive rebounds as well. So some extra chances for the Generals. Had a 16-point lead with an even 7 minutes left in the second period. And they run a wonderful inbounds play. And Jordan Deal, the beneficiary, as Lynn Johnson gets the assist. Carter at the other end took a bump from Johnson. That is the first team foul on Washington and Lee here in the second period. Deja Williams back in for the Marlins. Out there with Carter, Rucker, Atkinson, and that pass was intended for Cesaria Jones, who's back out with 2 personals. Deal, Addison, Groninger, Johnson, and Fowler right now for W&L. Lauren Fowler chalk up another big play on the defensive end made by the sophomore from Marlton, New Jersey. Addison, little dish back out to Flynn Johnson, who splashes home the 3. First bucket for Johnson, and a 21-point lead for the Generals here. Williams attacking, Fowler, another block, kept alive by Rucker. Rucker going to the opposite side for Williams, and this time Fowler commits the foul. Lauren Fowler has been a force for the Generals on the defensive end here in the first half. That is her second personal. She's been able to contain Williams a bit after that great start for the Virginia Wesleyan rookie. Williams too strong on the free throw. Pac-7 Conference Player of the Year is a senior for Langtree Charter Academy. Scored 23 points in her first collegiate game against St. Mary's. Had an 18-point, 12-rebound contest against Randolph. One of 4 double-doubles this year. Double figures in scoring with 10 after splitting the free throws. How about the passes the Generals have thrown in this first half? That was Johnson who threaded the needle to get that to Jordan Deal underneath the rim. 48-26, Washington and Lee. Fowler the deflection that time. And it's Marlin basketball on the far side. Had a chance to catch up with Liz Hootie yesterday. Talking about the keys to the game. She understood coming in this was a tough defensive assignment. With Washington and Lee's experience, their offensive depth and balance. Defending the three-point line she thought was a key, but it's not the threes that have done the Marlins in so far. It's all those cuts to the rim, either on the dribble or via some great passes. Shot clock winding down for Virginia Wesleyan here. Groninger providing the defense on Cesaria Jones, and another empty possession for the Marlins. Malik inside to Deal. Addison ready to shoot on the wing. Erin Addison having herself a first half. She's got 10. At a 25-point lead, the Generals have 51 points on the board, and we still have 5 minutes remaining in the second quarter. They've shot the three well. They haven't taken a ton of them. 5 of 7 from beyond the arc. Jennings' answer no good. Addison runs the floor, sets up Malik, always ready to shoot. And Hanna Malik nails another three, and Washington and Lee has a 28-point first half lead. Another timeout taken here by the Marlins. And during this stoppage here, we will pause and pay tribute to the Washington and Lee men's basketball seniors, whose season was cut short, unable to compete in the ODAC tournament this year. Let's take a look.
Hello, everyone. Women's basketball players you've ever seen.
Well, back to live action there. Congratulations to William Brugum and Curtis Mitchell, and then Austin Lee. Been such a big part of the success of Chris McHugh's team over the last 4 years. Great privilege to cover those guys. We saw Brueggemann get to 1,000 points here against Emory and Henry earlier in the season. First team All-ODAC last year. Curtis Mitchell, two-time ODAC Defensive Player of the Year. And Austin Lee, meaning a great deal, started his career as a player and finished as a manager. And very much like Whitley Drinkard, who graduated last year for Washington and Lee, manager for the women's team. That term doesn't really capture what they bring to the program, almost like an extra assistant coach. Been a great first half so far on the women's side. Washington and Lee up by 28. Inside for Erin Hughes. She is into double figures and is now 2 points away from 1,000. And out of control that time, Logan Carter. Anna Dorda gets a big ovation from her teammates after drawing the player control foul. Second personal on Carter. And the Generals with an opportunity to add to their massive lead. Hughes on the drive, just short on the layup. Won't be the last look she gets, you know. Jones left open in transition. The shots were falling early for the Marlins. They haven't been in this second period. And Washington and Lee is shooting 61% from the field. Here is Dorda on the drive. Layup off target that time. Jones the post up. Got Malik out of the way. Sabrina Jones, the only player who's hit a field goal for Virginia Wesleyan in this quarter. She's got 7 of their 8 points in the period. As we hit the 3-minute mark, Washington and Lee doubling up Virginia Wesleyan 56-28. Dorda around the O'Connor screen. She will launch the long two. It's too strong. Offensive rebound for Hughes. And double teamed. And I believe they're going to get Hughes with an offensive foul. That is the call. First personal on Hughes. And he goes back to the Marlins with 2:44 to play. Deal and Horn have come back out there playing with Malik, Hughes, and O'Connor. For the Marlins right now, it's Williams, Jones, and Jones, both Cesaria and Sabrina on the floor, along with Jennings, and Savannah Staples is out there now. Cesaria Jones, jumper no good, rebounded by Hughes. Trying to run the screen and roll for Hughes. And they're going to call that a moving screen. 2 quick fouls on Erin Hughes. I believe she will check out with 2:17 to go. She does indeed. Catherine Vandiver back on the floor. Stay with us at halftime. We'll have a special message from the Washington and Lee women's basketball team. Also, we'll look at some halftime statistics, which right now greatly favor the home team. Jordan Deal got the takeaway. O'Connor lost her balance right as she was trying to lay that up. Vandiver's putback no good. Comes out to Hanna Malik, who hits the three and draws the foul. She scored her first career points on a 4-point play in the season opener at Randolph. which, by the way, not the most fantastic or dramatic way that Washington and Lee players have scored their first points in a game at Randolph. I was recounting this when I chatted with Christine Clancy before the Generals' first home game of the season. Darby and Sidney Lundquist, identical twins for W&L, scored their first points at the same time. It's possible. One of them hit a jump shot. The other was fouled with the ball in the air in the final minute of the fourth quarter when the clock stopped, saw a made bucket. So one scored from the field, one scored from the foul line with the game clock at the same time with about 45 seconds to go. I was there doing a radio broadcast of that game, so I remember it quite well. Sabrina Jones at the free throw line for the Marlins with 1:38 to play here in the second period. Jones averaging a shade under 10 points, 9.9 to be exact, 6.8 rebounds. Had that buzzer beater against Ferrum. Her second double-double of the season, finished with 17 points and 10 rebounds. Got one of the two free throws to go. At the other end, first points for Catherine Vandiver. Minute 20 left in the first half. Here's a steal for Megan Horn. And the fast break bucket takes her point total up to 12 and gives the Generals a 34-point lead. All Washington and Lee in the first half of this ODAC quarterfinal. Horn looking for another steal that time. Charged with the reach-in foul. And now that will get Virginia Wesleyan into the bonus and send Cesaria Jones to the free throw line. Jones just 2 points so far. She's been hampered a little bit by the early foul trouble. Comes in averaging a team best 14.9. Rookie from L.C. Byrd High School in the Richmond area. She's been in double figures in all 8 games in which she's played. Split those free throws. And at the other end, Sabrina Jones able to get the clean strip of Megan Horn on the way up. Aaron Hughes is back on the floor with 56 seconds remaining. And a dominant first half for the Generals. They will get it into Hughes. Little fade away all the way around the rim, no good. Now just watching Christine Clancy's reaction. She knows what that next basket will mean for Hughes. Generals are over the limit this period, so Danielle Lehner is at the foul line. Senior from Gaithersburg, Maryland, making her 68th career appearance in this game. Doesn't score a ton, 2.9 points per game, but again averaging close to 7 rebounds, including a career best 21 when the Marlins beat St. Mary's in early February. Gets both free throws to go there. She's got 4 points and a couple of boards so far in this game. This is Horn. Setting up an open three for Johnson, who's fouled on the shot. And then a 3 free throw setup coming up for Johnson. Does not get to the line a lot. In fact, these will be her first free throws this season. Johnson, the high school teammate and classmate of Aaron Hughes down at Ravenscroft in the North Carolina capital. It's her first foul shot of the year. Second one rolls in as well. She has yet to hit a 2-point field goal in a Washington and Lee uniform. All 23 of her made field goals, including 1 3 today, have come from beyond the arc. And she makes good on all of those charity tosses. And the lead back up to 34. The Marlins have another trip to the line. Imani Hilmer is on for the Generals. Picked up the foul. 2 shots now for Sabrina Jones. First one up and good. Jones now 2 of 3 at the line. She is still the only player who's hit a field goal for the Marlins in this period. And 2 of 4 at the line now. All 9 of her points in the second quarter. It's a long 2 for Vandiver, maybe a little bit outside of her range. That's going to stay at this end. I thought they had called a foul, but evidently Cesaria Jones came down on the baseline. So Hughes back out there as the shot clock is now turned off. That did count as a change of possession. Hughes will post up. Lehner denies. And Aaron Hughes called for a push-off. So she's picked up her 3rd foul. Christine Clancy has been playing offense-defense, trying to get some extra possessions on that end for Hughes. And all 3 of the fouls that she's been whistled for have come down the stretch. Looks a little incredulous after that last call as she walks off the floor. 998, the career point total for Hughes. Well decorated with or without that milestone officially. The ODAC Defensive Player of the Year 2 years ago. First team All-Conference last season. Last look for the Marlins. 3 for Jennings. Vandiver got a piece. Groninger eyes the floor. Not enough time to get off the shot, but the Generals didn't really need any more points. They've already got 66 of them in the first half of this ODAC quarterfinal and a 33-point halftime lead for Washington and Lee here in Holcamp Gym. Time now to hear from the Washington and Lee women's basketball team on the WNL Sports Network.
Hi family, hi Carson. I wish more than anything you guys could be in the gym cheering me on today, but I have a feeling you're still yelling at the live stream at home. But in all seriousness, thank you guys for your love and support throughout my career, but also throughout this crazy senior year. It's definitely had its ups and downs, but knowing that you guys had my back meant the world to me and allowed me to keep pushing forward. Thank you for all that you guys do. I really appreciate it. I love you guys so much and can't wait to see you so soon.
Hi parents. Words don't describe how much you guys mean to me. You guys have been with me through it all ever since I first picked up a basketball at the age of 5. You guys have stuck with me, you've supported me, you've pushed me, and I will just forever be grateful for that. I wish more than anything that you guys could be supporting us, cheering us on in person this year, but I know that y'all are here in spirit. So I love you, I appreciate you guys more than you know, and I cannot wait to see you soon.
Hey Mom and Dad, thanks for being a constant source of support for me and for all else that you've done to support me on my basketball journey. I can't wait till y'all are finally able to be here in the gym cheering me on when I'm playing. Love y'all more than anything.
Hey Mom, hey Dad, hey Emily. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and to all the other families and friends who I know are watching. I appreciate your support so much, especially this year. You were missed in the stands, but let me tell you, your presence is definitely still felt. I love all of you guys, and I will see you very, very soon.
Hi Mom and Dad and Jack and Jimmy. Thank you so much for all of your support throughout my basketball career. As much as I miss seeing you guys in the stands this year, I'm so grateful to know that you're watching from home and cheering us on. My favorite part after the game is going to the locker room to check my phone and hear your thoughts. Win or lose, you always are positive, and your messages of support and encouragement mean the world to me. I miss you guys, I love you, and I'll see you soon.
Thank you, Mom, Dad, Thomas, and Steph, for the constant love and support that you've given not only me, but this whole team over this weird season. I know that you guys are just as invested in every game at home as you would be if you were sitting in the stands, and I wish just as much as you guys that you could come support us in person and that we could go out to dinner at Palms afterward. But I really appreciate you supporting me, even if it's from home. And I know that I could not have done this season without you guys.
Hi family, thank you for all of the support that you've given me this season, especially just with how crazy and unpredictable it's been. I miss seeing you guys in the bleachers and talking to you after the games, but I guess the post-game text will have to do for now. So thanks again, I love you guys so much and I can't wait to see you soon.
Hey Homers and hey Big Brothers, thank you guys so much for supporting us through this crazy season. I want to thank you guys for always tuning in to the live stream and for giving me all of your love and support. You guys have been so great throughout this first season with me, and I can't wait to see you guys soon. Love you guys.
Hey family, I just wanted to say thank you so much for all of your support throughout this crazy and unpredictable whirlwind of a year. I really don't know what I would do without you guys, and it just means so much to me to know that you guys are cheering for me all the way from New York. I can't wait till you guys are able to come see the games in person and be loud and obnoxious fans from there. I'm sure Coda will appreciate that too. I miss you guys, I love you guys, and I can't wait to see you very soon.
Hey Mom, Dad, Thomas, and Mary Grace. I just wanted to say I love you guys so much, and I don't know where I'd be without you. You've always supported me in everything that you do, and that means the world to me. I know you wish you could be here today, but you're supporting us from home. Thank you, and I love you.
Hey Mom, hey Dad, hey Trey. I miss you guys as much, if not more than you guys miss being here. And I just want you guys to know that you mean the world to me and that I miss you so much. I can't wait until you're back in the stands again. But in the meantime, Mom, do not yell too loud at the TV. Don't scare the dogs. But yeah, I love and miss you guys. Can't wait to see you soon. Stay safe, stay healthy. I love you.
Hi family, I just want to thank y'all so much for your support, especially this season with COVID and everything. I know, especially my mom and my dad, y'all have never missed any of my games. You've always been there in person. So I know it's been hard for y'all having to watch over the live stream and everything like that. But I just want to say thank you, and I love y'all, and I can't wait till y'all can come back and watch me in person.
Hi family, thank you for all your love and support throughout this season. I wish you could be here in person, but thank you for everything you do for me and for always being there for me. I can't wait to see you. Love you all.
Hey Van Clan, just wanted to send a big virtual hug to Charlotte to thank y'all for being my biggest cheerleaders always. I really appreciate how invested you have been throughout this entire season. I know it's a little bit different because you haven't been able to come to games, but I just love how much y'all support our team in every game and also just every day. I love and miss y'all so much, but cannot wait to see you soon, and am just so thankful for the best family. Love y'all.
Hi family. Thank y'all for all the love and support. I miss you bunches and can't wait to give you the biggest hug.
Well, just to echo the sentiments of the Washington and Lee women's basketball team, we miss everybody. We miss friends and family and students. The opportunity to come in and to watch games in Holcamp, it's going to come eventually. Everyone can take full advantage of this great new building, and we're certainly grateful that Washington and Lee's had a chance to play this season. The same can be said for Virginia Wesleyan and the other schools in the ODAC, the opportunity to compete, because it's not happening everywhere across the country. There are a lot of Division III schools and conferences that are not playing any sports in the 2020-2021 academic year. So thankful for the opportunities that our student athletes have been presented, and grateful that you've chosen to spend part of your evenings and afternoons with us here on the WNL Sports Network. That's not a typo on the scoreboard. A 66-point first half for Washington and Lee here in the ODAC quarterfinals. And we'll take another break and come back with a look at some of the numbers across the first 20 minutes. Generals up big on Virginia Wesleyan halftime here in Lexington. from the field, including massive lead for Washington and Lee at halftime of this ODAC women's basketball quarterfinal matchup. As we take a look at some team numbers for you, Washington and Lee shooting 56% from the field, including a scorching 7 of 9 from three-point range. The Generals also plus 15 on the glass. And how about that last number? 18 assists on 25 made field goals. And a lot of players in the mix, 4 in double figures already for Washington and Lee. Hanna Malik, 14 points off the bench, including a 4 of 4 mark from three-point range. Megan Horn with 12.6 rebounds and 4 assists. And then Aaron Hughes with 10 points. Had some looks down the stretch trying to get to a dozen, which would take her to 1,000 for her career. You know the Generals are going to get her the ball as soon as they can in the second half. Aaron Addison had 10 points off the bench. 8 points, 9 rebounds for Jordan Deal, and 6 points for Lynn Johnson. On the Virginia Wesleyan side, Adasia Williams off to a great start. She had 9 points in the first quarter, but just 1 in the second, still in double figures with 10. All 9 of Sabrina Jones' points came in the second quarter when she was the only Marlin who was able to hit a field goal. And then 5 points for Celeste Rucker and 4 for Danielle Lehner. Cesaria Jones, the leading scorer for the Marlins, held to 3 points on 1 of 6 shooting from the field. So the Generals in front by 33, trying to advance to the ODAC semifinals for the third time in 4 years. The winner of this game will take on either number 2 seed Lynchburg or number 7 Emory and Henry in the semifinals, which are slated for Tuesday night, with the championship to follow on Thursday. Lynchburg and Emory and Henry tip off at 4:30 this afternoon down at Turner Gym. You're watching Generals basketball in the ODAC tournament on the WNL Sports Network. We'll come back with second half action in just a moment. Jeremy Franklin with you for our coverage of the ODAC women's basketball tournament. Missing out on the usual back here inside the Holcamp Gym. Jeremy Franklin with you for our coverage of the ODAC women's basketball tournament. Missing out on the usual trip down Interstate 81 to the Salem Civic Center. But glad to be able to bring you this postseason contest from the brand new Richard L. Duchossois Athletic and Recreation Center. Washington and Lee with a 66-33 lead over Virginia Wesleyan. This is the 3-6 matchup here in the quarterfinal round. And if there's going to be a big rally for the Marlins, they need a great start to this second half. If they don't get it, at least on the opening possession. A turnover. The 10th of the game for the Marlins. Will the Generals go right to number 32? They do on the cut. Count the basket. And a foul. And celebration time as Aaron Hughes becomes the 14th member of the 1,000-point club here at Washington and Lee. And Christine Clancy will take a timeout to allow for some extra celebration. As we told you in the first half, the milestone is very meaningful, but it does not completely define the career of one of the all-time greats here for the Washington and Lee women's basketball program. ODAC Defensive Player of the Year as a sophomore in 2018-19. First team all-conference last year. She will finish her career in the top 10 in career three-point makes and percentage, most likely in the top 5 in foul shooting, already in the top 10 in steals and blocks, and now 1,000 points as well, and a campus leader as well. So our congratulations to Erin Hughes. We saw all those chances in the final couple of minutes of the first half, the layups that were just off target. But she gets a great look on the opening possession for Washington and Lee here in the second half. So the free throw coming as well for number 32. Foul, by the way, the second on Danielle Lehner for the Marlins. Foul shot off target, so she'll stay at 1,000 even at least for the time being. Doesn't miss a lot of those. Career 79.4% shooter, which currently stands as the fourth best mark in program history. So glad to see Hughes get that and to see Mom and Dad leading the celebration from across the way. Here comes Jessica Jennings for the Marlins. A tough first half, especially on the defensive end. Washington and Lee got just about everything it wanted on the offensive side. Here's Jennings on the drive, blocked by Groninger. Jennings sticks with it and draws the foul. Second chance coming up for Jessica Jennings. It will not take the Marlins long to get Sabrina Jones back on the floor. Jennings, 8.5 points, 4.1 rebounds, and a team-best 3 assists per game this year. Had a 15.9 rebound, 6 assist game in the last week of the regular season against Eastern Mennonite. Second on the team in scoring and first in assist as a rookie last year. That's her third point of the game. Scored in double figures 14 times during her first-year campaign. A little bit of a different role this season with the addition of players like Adasia Williams and Cesaria Jones. Got an offensive foul and a legal screen called on Megan Horn. So going back to Virginia Wesleyan, just over a minute into the second half. You already have seen the big highlight for the Generals, getting Erin Hughes up to 1,000. Take there by Adasia Williams. See the confidence that she plays with as a rookie. And when you're averaging almost 13 points and shooting 57% from the field, she obviously makes good decisions on the offensive end. 3-point play opportunity here for Williams. And she sinks the free throw. 13 now for the Mooresville, North Carolina native. There's Grace O'Connor for Washington and Lee. See how the Generals play this with their bench here in the second half. They got 28 points from the bench in the first two quarters. Horns post up, no. Fowler rebounds. It has the ball stripped, and it's off of Fowler. It'll be Marlin basketball. Foul at the other end that sent Williams to the line was the third on Jordan Deal. Erin Hughes picked up 3 fouls in the first half. That will not be any kind of a problem unless the Marlins can fight their way back into this game, and then turnovers like that will not help. There's O'Connor in the open floor, gliding to the rim. First points for O'Connor. She's not been scoring a lot, 1.5 per game, but she's been on the floor at the end of a lot of contests. She was out there for her defense at the end of the Shenandoah game. I think she played every single possession down the stretch. The drive is short for Cesaria Jones, who keeps it alive. And then Horn made some contact on that entry pass to Williams, and that'll be Megan Horn's third foul. So just something to put a little asterisk beside for now. Horn's going to stay out there with the 3 personals, at least for a moment. Jennings misses the jumper. Aaron Addison has come up to the scores table. Jordan Deal and Aaron Hughes sitting right now with 3. What a pass from Horn. What a finish from Lauren Fowler, who deserves that kind of reward after the first half she played on the defensive end. Generals up by 35, just over 7 minutes left here in the third quarter. Trying to punch their ticket into the semifinal round, set up a matchup with Lynchburg or Emory and Henry. Sabrina Jones posting up. Nothing doing against Kate Groninger, who gets the rebound. Horn driving and dishing. Mid-range jumper for Groninger. And I believe they've called a player control foul against Horn. And if so, that's going to be her 4th. So Horn on the floor with 3 because the Generals couldn't make their sub in time. And she has picked up number 4. A major concern for Washington and Lee in a close game, but they've got a pretty healthy cushion right now. And Christine Clancy is very comfortable with her depth at point guard. In fact, she's got 3 point guards on the floor right now, 3 players who can play that position. And on the door to Aaron Addison and Hanna Malik. Lob inside for Williams. No call there on some contact down low. And Aaron Addison in transition. She took the shove from Atkinson, who's the first to rush over and help her up, just trying to break up the layup. Officials conferring about whether to possibly call a flagrant. And they are going to make that call. Did not look like there was any malicious intent whatsoever from Atkinson. But the shove in the back without a clear play on the basketball is deemed a flagrant foul. Atkinson, the sophomore from Fredericksburg, from Chancellor High School, which has been pretty good to Virginia Wesleyan. It's the alma mater of the 2018-19 ODAC Player of the Year, Jayla Harris. And you saw her reaction, rushed over to try to help Addison up. She did not mean to commit the harsh contact. You can also understand why the intentional foul was called. So 1-2 for Addison. It will remain Generals basketball, 73-37 with 6:14 left in quarter number 3. 34 points in the first quarter, 32 more in the second. Washington and Lee's been rolling pretty much since the opening tip here this afternoon. Chance to go deep into the bench, maybe a need to go deeper into the bench with the foul trouble. This is Amani Hilmer for the Generals. She gets down the lane. A neat little finish there off the back iron. First postseason points of Amani Hilmer's career. 4th appearance overall for the native of Sycamore, Illinois. And Jessica Jennings heading to the line at the other end. Foul is the second on Hanna Malik. Jennings off target at the free throw line. Marlins are 11 of 17 at the stripe here today. 2 misses. And I believe a Generals foul on the rebound. It is indeed going against Washington and Lee, and it's the 15th foul, so the Marlins already in the bonus. And it will be Cesaria Jones shooting 2 after the couple of misses there from Jennings. Just the 4th point for Virginia Wesleyan's leading scorer here this afternoon. Hampered a bit by those 2 early fouls. The Generals have kept her in check. Gets both free throws to go, now 3 of 4 at the line. It's 75-39. On a Dorta, great stutter step inside to set up the space. Tough layup for O'Connor, no good. And Atkinson has the basketball. We've got another foul on the Generals. And a lot of whistles in this game. That's the 20th foul against Washington and Lee in less than 25 minutes of game action. And now Imani Hilmer is up to 3 personals. Doesn't really seem like it's been that physical of a game. Jones is back at the free throw line. The Marlins have only hit 4 field goals since the start of the second quarter. But the free throw attempts piling up for Virginia Wesleyan. Cesaria Jones is now 5 of 6. And as a team, the Marlins are 15 of 22. And for Vandiver. Vandiver the post up and the nifty footwork, but the layup won't fall. Just slid around the Deja Williams. But the finish not there for Vandiver. Inside Cesaria Jones. And that's on definite contact from Dorda. And Cesaria Jones will make a 3rd straight trip to the free throw line. And those foul shots coming up after the under 5 timeout. 34-point lead for Washington and Lee. 4:55 left here in the third quarter in the ODAC quarterfinals here in Lexington. Keys for Virginia Wesleyan. So Lynn Johnson, Aaron Hughes, Jordan Deal, Megan Hort, Kate Groninger. We've already seen buckets for the
much of support.
% from the field. She obviously makes good decisions. Campaign. A little bit of a different role this season to Guilford. That over a minute into the second half, and that kind of reward. Flagrant foul. Going again, 39. He's up to 3 personals. And for Vandiver. Vandiver the post up and the nifty in time. And she has picked up number 4. Who deserves on that entry pass to Williams. That'll be. There's O'Connor in the open floor, gliding to the lines. Very comfortable with her depth at point guard. Officials conferring. Good. 34 points in the first quarter, 32 more in the second. Washington and Lee's been rolling pretty much since the opening tip here this afternoon. Chance to go deep into the bench, maybe a need to go deeper into the bench with the foul trouble. This is Imani Hilmer for the Generals. She gets down the. This is there from Jennings. Atkinson has the basketball. Jones is back at the free throw. Just slid around the Deja Williams. First round of the tournament, then advanced. Now still a comfortable lead here for Washington and Lee, the number 3 seed in this year's tournament. Looking to advance to the semifinals, set up a matchup with either Lynchburg or Emory and Henry. The other side of the bracket is set. It'll be number 4 Roanoke playing host to the 9th seed Ferrum, which beat number 8 seed Randolph in the first round of the tournament, then advanced to the semis after the top seed Bridgewater withdrew from the postseason. Cesaria Jones at the foul line for the 3rd straight Virginia Wesleyan possession. She had made 4 in a row. And splits the pair that time. Jones up to 9 points. Just the 1 field goal, but a bunch of foul shots in this game. Aaron Hughes back on the floor for Washington and Lee. So is Jordan Deal. Both of those players have 3 personals. Vandiver going back to work. This time gets the shot to go. Second bucket for Vandiver, whose career high came against Virginia Wesleyan last year. She scored 10 points in an 82-38 road win for Washington and Lee. Couple of looks for Cesaria Jones. The shots from the floor just aren't falling for her today. Deal sets up Lynn Johnson. Just a little too strong on that three-point attempt. Inside, Cesaria Jones gets a much better look that time. Good feed from Celeste Rucker. And Cesaria Jones works her way into double digits. Now has 10. Deal operating from the high post. Gets around her defender and scores. She's up to 10 points in the game. The fifth general to hit double digits. Rucker at the other end, no. And Deal's got a double-double. That's her 10th rebound. Vandiver, look at that move, and she draws the foul against Rucker. So free throws now for Catherine Vandiver, the sophomore from Charlotte. Actually has two career highs that still stand from last year's pair of meetings against the Marlins. Career best 8 rebounds in the first game against Virginia Wesleyan. That was a 91-46 win at the DTC. One of two for Vandiver. He's a good foul shooter, 73% on the season. She's got 5 points here. 80-44. See Amani Simon out there for the first time running the point for the Marlins. Cesaria Jones on the drive. That'll count. And a free throw coming. She had a big third quarter, maybe all the foul shots. Just seeing the ball go through the rim have given her a lift overall on the offensive side. Terry Phillips on the floor for the Generals, whistled for that foul. Ten points in the period, 13 in the game for Cesaria Jones. We are even up 14 points apiece in this third quarter, so the 33-point lead that the Generals took in a halftime. Same margin on the scoreboard right now. Gets a little bit bigger. Erin Hughes, a much less dramatic basket than the first one she scored this quarter. Now 1,002 career points for Hughes, and then got the deflection at the other end, but Sabrina Jones recovers, misses the short jumper. And Lynn Johnson brings it back the other way. Hughes left alone. She'll try the three and knock it down. Hasn't hit a ton of those this season, just her fourth three-pointer. That 15 to 18-foot jumper, they always say, is right in her wheelhouse. And certainly capable of hitting from beyond the arc as well. Good recovery by Cesaria Jones, whose great period continues. It was Sabrina Jones, really the only player who could score for the Marlins in the second. Now Cesaria Jones in the third. She has all but 3 of the Marlins' points in this period. And Erin Hughes will be heading to the foul line now for Washington and Lee. Third personal on Danielle Lehner. $17 points for Hughes. And joining the elite company, only 13 other players in program history have gotten to 1,000 points. And had this been the full 24-25 game regular season, it would have happened really easily. This is just the 7th game that the Generals have played here in 2021. Well, Hughes gets it done. She's had some big games this season alone. Career high 29 against Emory and Henry, breaking a mark that she had set as a sophomore against Virginia Wesleyan. Had a 21-point game against Randolph. Comes into this contest third in the ODAC in scoring, and she has surpassed her season average of 17. Just netted point number 18 today. So a steal for Terry Phillips. Looking to lead the break for Washington and Lee. Phillips all the way, but the layup short. And Rutgers got it for the Marlins. 90 seconds left in the period. What a catch that was by Cesaria Jones. She better get the reward of that layup. It was a wide receiver in double coverage, reeling it in for a touchdown. Jump shot won't go. And the initial chance for Emma Robertson. But the follow is the first 2-point field goal that Lynn Johnson has hit in a Washington and Lee uniform. Cesaria Jones has turned it on here in the third. And with the Generals, I would imagine, more than content to trade buckets. The missed three for Hughes. Rebound by Atkinson. Cesaria Jones has 16 points in this period, 19 in the game now after a quiet first half. She's got the ball back on the offensive end, looking for a whistle, didn't get it. And they'll call Adacia Williams for a foul on the rebound, which should send Washington and Lee to the free throw line at the other end. That is indeed the 15th foul on the Marlins. And it's Emma Robertson, the first year from St. George, South Carolina, who will be shooting a pair of free throws. First one is on its way, well short. Second chance to become the 12th different General to score in this game. Missed to both. The rebound, last touch by Johnson. And Virginia Wesleyan basketball, 33 seconds left in the quarter. The 88 points on the scoreboard, by the way, already an ODAC tournament record for Washington and Lee. We got more than 10 minutes to play. Jumper no good for Atkinson. Strong rebound by Williams. And absorbs some contact and gets the shot to fall. Well, top three scorers for the Marlins, Williams and both Joneses, have delivered today. Haven't gotten enough help, especially with the rhythm the Generals have had pretty much from the start of the contest of the offensive end. And Megan Horn is back out there and about to shoot a pair of free throws. Foul was on to Adacia Williams. That's her third personal. Horn working on a nice little stat line here. 12 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 steals. And in 17 minutes, no less. She's been sitting with 4 fouls for a while. Gets the second free throw to go. That'll count if it goes in, and it wasn't all that far away for Rucker. Washington and Lee headed into the third period with a 33-point lead. The Generals head out of it up by 34. You're watching the ODAC basketball tournament on the WNL Sports Network. We'll come right back to Holcamp. And Lee in front of Virginia Wesleyan as we head to the fourth quarter of this ODAC quarterfinal. And the Generals more than content just to hold serve in that third period. Up 33 at the break and added 1 point to the margin. Cesaria Jones was brilliant in that quarter. 16 points in the period. But the Generals pretty much matched her. Aaron Hughes got to 1,000. And a lot of different players involved on the offensive end. By my count, 9 different players scored in the quarter. Megan Horn unlucky on the layup attempt. Off both sides of the rim, no good. We've got a jump ball on the rebound, and because the Generals got the ball to start the period, the arrow points the other way. Previous postseason scoring record for Washington and Lee, 86 points in the quarterfinals against Eastern Mennonite in 2011. That was in the 4-5 game, too. It was expected to be a tight one, and the Generals had a very similar offensive game to what we've seen this afternoon when just everything was falling. First free throw is on its way. And good there for Cesaria Jones. And that's a new career high for her. She's been pretty consistent scoring the basketball. But the first 20-point game of her career, and number 21 right behind it. She's got 21. Adasia Williams has 15. Sabrina Jones, 9. And nobody else with more than 5 for the Marlins. Hanna Malik, not just a three-point shooter. That runner, nice little wrinkle to her offensive game. Generals with 5 in double figures. Hughes with 18. Sending her past the 1,000-point mark for her career. Malik now has 16. Megan Horn, 13. Aaron Addison, 11. And then the double-double for Jordan Deal, 10 points, 11 boards. Cesaria Jones maybe got away with the travel that time, but the layup does not fall. Horn, Robertson, Addison, Deal, and Malik right now. Not sure who that pass was intended for. It might have been Addison. It's Megan Horn who grabs it and lays it up and in off the feed from Malik. Atkinson, Carter, Cesaria Jones, Williams, and Rucker right now for the Marlins. Here is Williams on the post up, too strong. Well defended there by Robertson, and here comes Deal. Malik working baseline. She does not get away with the travel. And it will be Marlin basketball. 9th turnover of the game for Washington and Lee. 13 for the Marlins. That had been the big struggle for Virginia Wesleyan most of the regular season. It hasn't been the turnovers. It's been the inability to slow down the Washington and Lee offense in this game. We've got a timeout on the floor. Generals in front by 36 with 8:21 to go. Well, Washington and Lee trying to make it 10 straight home wins, including a 4-0 start here in Holcamp. The Generals have been really, really good at home over the last couple of seasons, whether that was over at the Duchess Watt Tennis Center or here in Holcamp Gym. They have won 19 of their last 20 home contests dating back to December 2018. The only loss was that overtime thriller against Emory and Henry last December 2019. Marlins will try to get some looks, you imagine, down the stretch for their seniors. Danielle Lehner could not get that one to fall. Trying to get a look for Aaron Hughes on the inside. Gets a good pass from Johnson. And the low block jumper is up and good. Another 20-point game for Hughes. The 11th time she's done that in her career. 1,008. You're still chalking up those career points for the Raleigh native. Baseline jumper too strong for Williams, and Johnson has the rebound. Inside for Hughes. He'll shoot over Williams that time, and 2 more for Aaron Hughes. And a 40-point lead for Washington and Lee, the biggest of the game for the Generals. A game that they've been in control of pretty much since late in the first quarter. It was blow for a while, and the Generals pulled away, led by 33 at halftime. That's well short for Sabrina Jones. WNO basketball, 6:50 to play. Changes to the lineup here. Hughes will exit along with Addison. So it's now Fowler, Malik, Hilmer, Deal, and Johnson against Sabrina Jones, Cesaria Jones, Lander, Carter, and Atkinson for the Marlins. Johnson the skip to Malik. Extra pass for Hilmer. Good close out, though, by Cesaria Jones. Thought it might be an open look for Hilmer. And then a turnover, the steal for Lander. Cesaria Jones going back to work, draws another foul. She's gotten to the line a lot already, 9 of 11 at the charity stripe. And Monty Hilmer has picked up her 4th personal. And more free throws for the rookie from Richmond. Adding to her career high, that's point number 22. Really not a bad core to build around with the first-year seasons that Adasia Williams and Cesaria Jones have had. Several sophomores who were big contributors, including Atkinson and Jennings, who started this game. Going to miss Sabrina Jones. Going to miss the presence on defense and on the glass of Danielle Lehner. With another recruiting class or two in the Marlins, you would imagine will have a chance to get back to where they were for so long under Stephanie Dunmeyer in the upper echelon of ODAC women's basketball. Hanna Malik hits another 3. And Washington and Lee up to 100 points with 5.5 minutes to play in this ODAC quarterfinal. Second time the Generals have hit triple digits already here in Holcamp. Now that 103-80 win over Ferrum to christen this building. Sabrina Jones doing some hard work on the glass, not getting the whistle there. And the Generals back in possession. Malik is up to 19 points. And now she's up to 22. Already had a career high even before that bucket, her 6th three-pointer. She hasn't missed. 6 of 6 from 3. Already came in shooting above 50% from beyond the arc. Jones lost it, Lehner got it, and then a reach-in foul before the shot going against the Generals. Vandiver, Groninger, Robertson, all returning. They'll play with Johnson and Malik. Atkinson, Jones, Carter, and Jennings right now for the Marlins. Sabrina Jones, the post up, and got the whistle that time against Vandiver. So Sabrina Jones to the line so far this afternoon, all 9 of her points coming in the second period. Free throw rims out. This is just the 5th time in program history, including that game earlier this year against Ferrum, that Washington and Lee has scored 100 or more points. Program record is 111, set in a win at Hollins in December of 2008. They're at 103, tied with the Ferrum game for the second most points ever scored by WNL women's basketball game. See how the final 4.5 minutes unfold here. Trying to get a look for Vandiver. Passed a little too high that time. So the Generals on their way to the ODAC semifinals, and they will be checking out the game later today. Number 2, Lynchburg. Number 7, Emory and Henry. If the Hornets win at home, Washington and Lee will travel over the mountain for the semifinal round, which is scheduled for Tuesday. Emory and Henry can pull off the upset. Then the Wasps will come here. 4 minutes to go. The Generals up by 43. Vandiver trying to skip pass and hit the rim. She saw Johnson spotting up in the corner, just couldn't get her the basketball. 2 more for Cesaria Jones, who leads all scorers today with 25. Transition look perhaps for Vandiver, needed a dribble to get some room. Went off the top of the backboard, which is still in bounds, but would not fall. Another opportunity for Vandiver to post up. Sabrina Jones standing her ground, and Vandiver called for a 3-second violation. Really good defense there by the Virginia Wesleyan senior. Sabrina Jones checking out. Her classmate is out there now, Sierra Coleman. And so is the third member of the Marlin senior class, Danielle Lehner. Jennings fakes the pass, drives in. Robertson looked like she got a piece of that. Vandiver running the floor. Stops down low and draws the foul. Good control there by Catherine Vandiver. 5 points, 3 rebounds, 1 block so far for the sophomore. Has that free throw rim out. Gets the second to go. The Generals, strange to say, since they've scored 104 points, but they have left a lot of points on the table. They are now 14 of 24 at the foul line. Came in shooting 64% at the line this season. Haven't needed those today, but 58% at the foul line in a close game would be problematic. Got the 2 seniors out there, Johnson and Hughes. Here's one of the first years, O'Connor, who's called for traveling. Washington and Lee, look at the recent semifinal history. Lost to the number 1 seed Emory and Henry in 2018 in that round. Beat Roanoke in the semis 2 years ago. They fall to Shenandoah in the championship. Another chance in the ODAC semifinals ahead for this Generals team. Outcome really hasn't been in doubt at any point in this second half. Danielle Lehner missing the jumper. Under 2 to play, Washington and Lee with the basketball up by 42. Used the shot fake, and the Marlins just let her go that time. 24 for Hughes, soaring past that 1,000-point mark. And it's 106-62. And the Marlins will take a timeout with 1:36 to play. We'll step aside. You're watching the ODAC basketball tournament here on the WNL Sports Network. We'll move on to the conference semifinal round. Virginia Wesleyan will wrap up at 5-7. Washington and Lee still shooting 57% from the field, 67% from 3. Almost ironic that they've had troubles at the foul line. Just 58% there, because almost every other shot has been going down. And they fell the Marlins to 30% shooting. Virginia Wesleyan just 2 of 20 from beyond the arc in this game. That is a 2, a long one for Cesaria Jones, no good. It'll stay with the Marlins. Atkinson, away to Cesaria Jones. Shot clock under 10. Good open look for Jessica Jennings, but the 3-ball won't go. Generals have it as we approach the final minute of this game. As it stands, the second most points in program history for Washington and Lee, besting the previous postseason record by some 20 points. The runner won't fall for Terry Phillips. Lob play, a good feed inside for Lehner, and she's fouled by Robertson. Game 6 points for Lehner, 4 of 4, shooting free throws. Many happy returns for Christine Clancy on her birthday. Saw her team put together a dominating performance. Saw her senior captain Aaron Hughes get to 1,000. Saw Lynn Johnson hit a couple threes. That's a W&L career high, 11 points for Johnson. Scored 13 in the game for Emory, where she played her first 2 years. But the best scoring game of her career, one last look for the Marlins. Cesaria Jones away to Lehner, and then Atkinson's three is good at the buzzer. And that will provide our final score of 109-67. A 42-point victory for the Generals here in the ODAC quarterfinals, on through to the semifinal round, where they will take on the winner of a contest later on today between Lynchburg and Emory and Henry. We'll take a short break, come back to wrap this one up. Stay with us for more coverage of the ODAC basketball tournament here on the W&L Sports Network. Distant photos with their families, and what a game for both of those players. Aaron Hughes getting to 1,000 points, just the 14th player in program history to reach that basketball landmark, and she had one of the best scoring games of her career, 24 today. The 11th time she scored 20 or more in a Washington and Lee uniform, the third time this season. And Lynn Johnson, with the most points she's ever had in a W&L uniform, hit a 2-point field goal for the very first time as a member of the Generals roster, and also knocked down a couple of three-pointers and 3 free throws to get to 11 points. With the Generals, as we take a look at some post-game numbers here, what an offensive display this was for Washington and Lee. 57% shooting from the field, lights out from 3. 11 of 16 from beyond the arc, also plus 16 on the glass, and you can see what they did to the Marlins on the defensive end, holding them to 30% shooting. Virginia Wesleyan was 24 of 33 at the foul line, able to get up to 67 points with a lot of free throws in this game. Cesaria Jones had a terrific contest, 22 of her 25 points after halftime, 15 for Adasia Williams, 10 for Sabrina Jones in her final career game, 6 points and 4 rebounds for Danielle Lehner, 5 points and 5 assists for Celeste Rucker. But Washington and Lee just too much for the Marlins to handle. Hughes shot 10 of 18 from the field, 3 of 5 at the foul line, 24 points in just 20 minutes of game action today. And then Hanna Malik, a career best 22 off the bench. She did not miss a shot from the field, 7 of 7 from the floor, including 6 three-pointers that all went down. 4 other Generals in double figures. Megan Horn finished with 15 points, 6 rebounds, and 7 assists. 11 points for Lynn Johnson, as we mentioned, 11 points and 5 assists for Aaron Addison. Double-double for Jordan Deal, 10 points and 12 rebounds. Then 6 points for Catherine Vandiver, 4 points and a couple of blocks for Lauren Fowler in the game here this afternoon. So could not ask for a better all-around performance from Washington and Lee as the Generals jumped out to that big lead early, up 33 at halftime, and end up winning by a 42-point margin. So on to the semifinals for the third time in the last 4 seasons. And again, we await the result of the game later on today between the number 2 seed Lynchburg, number 7 Emory and Henry. If the Hornets are able to win that game, then Washington and Lee will make the trip over the mountain to Turner Gym. And if Emory and Henry pulls the upset, we'll have a semifinal contest right here in Holcamp. You can check ODAConline.com or GeneralSports.com later on this weekend for the updated tournament bracket and game schedule. For now, we'll say so long from Holcamp Gym. I'm Jeremy Franklin. Thanks for watching this presentation of Generals Athletics. Aaron Hughes into the 1,000-point club. Washington and Lee is on to the ODAC semifinals as the Generals take down Virginia Wesleyan 109-67.